The Hatha Yoga sequence that changed my students' lives. Over the years, many women walked into my yoga classes carrying far more than physical tension. They carried busy minds, tired bodies, heavy hearts. Many came hoping to become more flexible, but they often left with something they hadn't expected: a quieter mind, a steadier breath, a lighter heart. This was a sequence we practiced together. Not because it was the most difficult, not because it was the most impressive, but because every part of it had a purpose. Each posture prepared the body for the next. Each breath prepared the mind. And by the end of the practice, something within us had quietly changed. We never began with stretching. We began by arriving. We settled into a comfortable seated position, lengthened the spine, softened the shoulders, and gently closed the eyes. For a few moments, there was nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, nothing to fix. We simply noticed the body. We noticed the breath. We noticed the mind without trying to change it. That first meditation became a doorway, allowing us to leave the outside world behind and become fully present. Only then did we begin our breath work. Breath is the bridge between the body and the mind, and every breathing practice prepared us in a different way. We practice the three-part breath, learning how to breathe fully into the abdomen, the rib cage, and finally the chest. We explored apana, creating a sense of grounding through the exhalation. Apana, samana, prana. Apana is breathing into the abdomen. Samana is breathing into the ribs. And prana is breathing into the chest. Samana brings steadiness and balance to the center of the body. Prana invites expansion, vitality, and openness through the heart and lungs. We also practice Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, one of the most beautiful practices for calming the nervous system and quietening the fluctuations of the mind. At times, we included Brahmari, the gentle humming bee breath, allowing its soothing vibration to melt away mental tension and invite a deep sense of inner calm. If you'd like to learn these breathing techniques in greater depth, I've created individual videos on the three-part breath, Nadi Shodhana, Brahmari, and Move with the Breath. I'll leave all of those links in the description below so you can practice each one at your own pace. Before we stood up, we learned one of the most important principles of Hatha Yoga. The breath leads, the body follows. An inhale creates space, an exhale supports movement. When the breath becomes the guide, every movement feels lighter, steadier, and more natural. Only then did we begin to move. We awakened the spine gently through cat and cow. With every inhale, the heart opened. With every exhale, the spine rounded softly, releasing tension one breath at a time. From there, we found downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, creating length through the entire back of the body while preparing the shoulders, spine, and legs for the practice ahead. Then we began our Surya Namaskar, our sun salutations. This was where everything came together. The breath was no longer separate from the movement. It became the rhythm that carried us through the entire sequence. We inhaled as the arms reached overhead. We exhaled as we folded towards the earth. We inhaled to lengthen the spine. We exhaled as we stepped back. We flowed through plank, chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog, and returned to downward facing dog, pausing there for several slow, steady breaths before beginning again. Whether we practiced 3 rounds, 5 or 7, the purpose was never speed, it was presence. Every cycle awakened the muscles, mobilized the joints, improved circulation, and gently prepared the body for the standing practice that followed. If you'd like to learn how to coordinate every movement with every breath, I've created a short video called Move with the Breath, and I'll leave the link in the description below. From there, we stopped, and then we stepped to the top of the mat and arrived in Tadasana, mountain posture, standing quietly, feeling both feet rooted into the earth, hands by the side, palms facing forward. The simplest posture often teaches the deepest lessons. How to stand fully present, how to breathe without rushing, how to simply be. From Tadasana, we moved into Utkatasana, chair posture. The legs grew stronger, the core awakened, the arms reached upwards. Yet even in effort, the breath remained calm. Be careful. In Utkatasana, you have to round your lower back. Don't stick your hips out. You're going to hurt your lower back. Strength was never about pushing harder. It was about remaining steady and doing it in a right way. From there, we returned to our sun salutation, this time stepping back into Warrior One. The front knee bent, the back leg rooted firmly into the earth. The arms reached towards the sky, the chest gently lifted. Every inhale created length, every exhale grounded us more deeply. Again, we flowed through plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog, allowing the breath to carry every transition. Gradually, movement became effortless. Breath, movement, awareness, all moving together. With the body now warm, we slowed the pace. We explored Trikonasana, triangle pose, first on one side, then on the other. One hand reached towards the earth, the other reached towards the sky. The chest opened, the spine lengthened, the breath created space through the ribs and the waist. From there, we moved through the warrior series, again first on one side, then on the other. Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and then Warrior 3. Each posture invited us to build strength without tension, stability without rigidity, confidence without force. Holding each posture for several slow breaths, we learn that true balance begins with a quiet mind. Then came our balancing postures. Vriksasana, the tree pose, one foot rooted deeply into the earth, the other found its place. Some days we swayed, some days we stood perfectly still. Both were part of the practice. Then, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, a posture asking for strength, openness, and trust all at once. By now, something beautiful had happened. The mind had become quieter, the breath softer, the movements more graceful. Without realizing it, we had stopped thinking about yoga and simply started experiencing it. We then softened into our standing forward folds, first holding the big toes, then placing the palms beneath the feet, finally wrapping the arms gently around the calves. Each variation invited a little more length through the spine, a little more release through the hips. With every inhale, we lengthened. With every exhale, we softened, never forcing, only listening to the body. Then we came back down to the mat. The pace naturally became quieter. We practiced our seated side stretches, first on one side, then on the other. One leg extended, the other folded comfortably inwards. Reaching towards the foot while opening the chest towards the ceiling, we created space along the entire side of the body from the outer hip to the fingertips. Then came Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold. You learn to hinge from the hips instead of collapsing through the shoulders. It wasn't about reaching farther, it was about creating length, breathing patiently, allowing the body to open in its own time. From there, we explore one side, then the other. With every inhale, we lengthen the spine. With every exhale, we turn a little farther, looking softly over the shoulder, not by forcing, simply by allowing the breath to guide the movement. The twists reminded us that before we turn outward, we first learn to grow taller within ourselves. Only after the spine had been gently awakened in every direction did we begin our backbends. We started with Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, creating length through the spine before lifting the heart. Then Salabhasana, locust pose, strengthening the entire back body. From there, we moved into Ustrasana, camel pose, opening the chest while keeping the spine long and supported. Rolling onto our backs, we continued into Setu Bandha Sarangasana, our bridge pose. Strong through the legs, open through the heart. For those who wished to deepen their practice, we explored Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose, not to achieve the biggest back bend, but to discover trust, strength, and openness. Sometimes we continued into Sarangasana, shoulder stand, and for those who felt comfortable into Halasana, plow pose, always moving with patience, always respecting the body's own wisdom. Then everything became still. We arrived in Savasana. Beginning with the toes, we slowly relaxed every part of the body, the feet, the calves, the knees, the thighs, the hips, the abdomen, the chest, the fingers, the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, the muscles around the eyes, the forehead, until the entire body rested effortlessly against the earth. For several quiet minutes, there was nowhere to go, nothing to achieve, nothing to become, only breath, only awareness, only stillness. When it was time to return, we gently invited movement back into the fingers and the toes. We stretched softly, rolled onto one side, and slowly returned to a comfortable seated position. Our hands came together at the heart. We stretched the arms forward, bowed the forehead towards the earth, and offered a quiet prayer of gratitude. Not because the practice was over, but because we had remembered something we so often forget, that peace is not something we have to chase. It is something we return to. One breath, one movement, one quiet moment at a time. Thank you for sharing this practice with me.